Welcome to episode 24 of Carson Now's Weekly Pulse podcast. This week's episode is sponsored by the Carson City Historical Society and their Royal Holiday Affair Tea with Queen Victoria happening this weekend. This week, we are taking a look at the big stories, the weekend weather, and all of the events happening this weekend as the holiday season is in full swing.
It absolutely is. And wow, what a fascinating week of news we had between last Friday, December 5th, and just yesterday, Thursday, December 11th.
It really was. We saw this mix of, heartwarming community efforts, some really significant infrastructure decisions that are going to shape the region for years to come.
And a lot of inspiring achievements from our local schools, for sure.
That's exactly right. So our mission today is to take this whole stack of headlines that we reported this past week and really turn it into a high-speed, high-impact briefing.
Get you caught up.
Yeah, so you feel completely caught up and informed heading into your weekend. And we're not just, reciting facts here. We're trying to analyze the trends. If you look at this week's news, you really see this central tension. The community is growing so rapidly, and that requires these massive administrative and health infrastructure upgrades. But at the same time, we are so intensely committed to preserving that small-town, neighborly character, especially now, when it comes to the holidays.
That tension is the perfect lens, I think, to view the last 7 days of reporting. So let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
And let's start exactly where you should during the first half of December.
With the community.
With the community response to seasonal need. Absolutely.
The holiday season always just emphasizes this incredible network of support we have here. And we saw several really crucial updates this week on assistance programs that are literally helping people right now.
Yeah, we reported pretty extensively on the Toys for Tots operation, and we tried to provide actionable information for families who need help.
And what's important for our listeners to understand is just the sheer geographic scope of this local effort.
It's huge. It's not just Carson City. The program services Carson City, Douglas County, Story County, and West Lyon County. I mean, that vast service area just shows the critical role this specific campaign plays across all of Western Nevada.
And the program is running under a really tight timeline this year. We reported that the request hotline, it opened on December 3rd, but it only runs through December 19th.
That is a very small window.
It is, to process what must be hundreds, if not thousands, of requests from a whole multi-county region.
Exactly. And when you see those operational details, like the fact that they're asking callers to only leave one message because their volunteer lines are just saturated,
Right.
It really underscores the scale of the demand. This is a massive logistical operation managed by local volunteers to make sure no child in our region goes without a toy.
But, on the other side of that whole equation, we saw the incredible generosity the community is known for. We reported on December 9th about the annual Carson City Toy Run.
The one organized by the Motorcycle Club?
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal success. The article we ran stated that their efforts resulted in the collection and purchase of more than 1,000 toys.
More than 1,000. That's more than 1,000 moments of joy delivered directly by our neighbors. It's just such a vivid demonstration of the community's capacity for immediate mobilization.
We also had a very immediate, an urgent need arise this week.
Yes, the sudden necessary move of the Night Off the Streets warming shelter.
Yes, that was reported on December 10th. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, the shelter had to relocate immediately to the Lutheran Church.
And what was so fascinating, and what our story really emphasized, was the speed of the local nonprofit and faith-based community response.
Right.
When cold weather hits, and a vital service like a warming shelter needs to move now, the ability of local organizations like FISH to coordinate those resources so quickly is what prevents a crisis.
It really speaks volumes about our local safety nets.
It does. And speaking of ongoing support, we need to remind everyone about the SCA Lift Christmas tree lot. We reported that the lot, which is just a fantastic resource supporting local youth programs, is still open.
That's right. It opened up back on November 28th, and it runs through December 21st, located right there next to the Ormsby House.
So if you are going to buy a tree, the opportunity to support a youth-focused mission while you do it is just a great dual purpose.
It's local commerce supporting local capacity building.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, let's transition a little bit. This communal effort to support immediate needs, like the warming shelter and the toy drives, kind of raises a long-term question, right? How is Carson City and the surrounding region building sustainable structural health infrastructure to manage these growing long-term needs?
That's the critical analysis, and this past week give us two major answers, and both of them focused on behavioral health, which, we know is a critical crisis point for Nevada.
It is.
On December 8th, we reported on a major expansion announced by Carson Tahoe Health.
They are significantly expanding their youth behavioral health services. And this is not just some, incremental increase. This is a structural capacity injection directly addressing what public health officials identify as a critical care gap.
And it is a critical gap. The need for timely and accessible mental and behavioral health services for young people is immense.
So Carson Tahoe Health stepping up in this way is a massive regional development.
It really is. When we look at state health metrics, Nevada consistently ranks poorly in access to youth mental health care. So this expansion, it's more than just a local news story.
It's a proactive public health intervention.
Exactly. It signals Carson Tahoe's commitment to not just treating acute crises, but really building out those preventative and long-term therapeutic resources that are essential for a healthy future population.
And that infrastructure expansion isn't confined to the immediate capital area. On December 10th, we were reported on a groundbreaking ceremony.
In Silver Springs.
In Silver Springs, yes.
This was for rural Nevada counseling. What's so fascinating about this project is its scale and its location. I mean, a massive 10,000 square foot building being built outside Carson City proper.
So why Silver Springs?
Well, this signals a crucial recognition that health resources, they need to be decentralized. Rural communities often face the highest barriers to access, due in large part to travel time and just the lack of local facilities.
So a 10,000 square foot facility in a rural setting means they are addressing that access gap head on.
It validates the needs of the smaller surrounding communities and ensures that counseling and mental health services are available closer to home for residents in Leon and surrounding counties. This is a deliberate, strategic investment in regional equity.
Beyond these big structural moves, we also shared news about some local-focused health education. We reported on December 8th that the Carson City Rotarians are hosting an upcoming event.
Yeah, and they're going to learn about the specific impact food dyes have on our lives.
This might seem like a small item, but I think it speaks to the commitment of our local organizations to dive into these nuanced topics of public wellness.
Right, and the fact that the public is invited to attend this detailed health discussion, it shows how local clubs facilitate these sophisticated, evidence-based conversations that go far beyond what you might hear in the general news cycles.
It's a sign of an engaged citizenry, seeking that granular, practical health knowledge.
And finally, just to set the stage for ongoing policy discussions, we briefly mentioned the results of the Carson Now Friday poll from last week, December 7th.
Right. The poll asked whether the government should help pay for childcare to make it affordable.
And childcare affordability is one of the single biggest stressors on middle and low-income families in this region. It directly impacts workforce participation and quality of life.
For sure. The poll results provide this crucial, rapid snapshot of local reader sentiment on this high-profile public debate. And it really indicates the public temperature on government intervention in market solutions for social issues. It gives us context for future political discussions.
Okay, moving from health to administration, this week was packed with updates on city and state operations that, while they might seem technical, are quietly shaping the security and transparency of our whole region.
Let's start with a really significant administrative shift we reported on December 9th. Carson City is migrating its web and email services to the highly secure .gov domain.
And this is a massive operational lift. Moving to the .gov domain is complex, it's often costly, but it offers immediate critical benefits.
The primary benefit being security and trust, right?
Absolutely. A .gov domain immediately verifies the authenticity of communications. It reduces the risk of phishing and improves overall data security for citizens interacting with city services.
It also, standardizes the city's digital identity in line with federal mandates and other large municipalities that says we are a legitimate, verifiable government entity.
Right. It's a necessary step toward digital modernization, but it's a detailed internal project that requires intense coordination between IT, administration, and finance departments. When you see this kind of migration, you know there's been a significant multi-month planning effort behind it.
Shifting over to state-level finance, we reported on December 11th about a situation regarding the Nevada Bond Availability Report.
Oh yeah, this report had to be recirculated following what our article termed an unusual request.
And that specific detail, the unusual request, is what makes the story so interesting from a transparency standpoint.
Because bond reports are the backbone of state finance, right? They detail our capacity to take on debt for major capital projects.
Exactly. So the recirculation, which was mandated by this request, it just emphasizes the intense scrutiny and the need for transparency around public financial documents. It ensures all stakeholders, from legislative committees to investment firms, have current, accurate data.
And at the same time, our regional neighbors are deeply engaged in future planning. We noted on December 3rd and again on December 9th that Douglas County is actively seeking public input on its Title 20 development updates.
Okay, so let's unpack the jargon here. What exactly is Title 20?
Title 20 is basically the backbone of Douglas County's zoning and land use regulations. It dictates everything from where residential neighborhoods can be built to the maximum density allowed and where commercial and industrial zones are established.
So seeking public input on updates to Title 20 is a huge deal.
Oh, it's massive because it fundamentally determines how the Carson Valley and the Lake Tahoe area will grow over the next decade.
Will it favor low-density residential development? Will it encourage mixed-use centers?
Exactly. The regulatory framework laid out in Title 20 is the primary tool the county has to manage growth and environmental impact, particularly concerning traffic and water usage. So if you live there, your input dictates the very fabric of your community's future.
And heading slightly east, we briefly touched on major development news out of Dayton on December 7th.
The Lyon County Commissioners approved a master plan amendment for a new data center.
And data centers are just these massive infrastructure projects that often bring high-wage construction jobs and eventually specialized technical jobs.
Right. And while Dayton is outside of Carson City, these large-scale technology investments, they have significant regional economic ripple effects. They strain existing power infrastructure, but they also inject major revenue streams into the county budget. It signals this continued regional diversification away from traditional industries.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about education, which saw some great news this week, both in terms of high-level planning and student achievement that captured national attention.
Starting on the planning side, we reported that the Carson City School Board met on December 9th to decide on an amended budget and revisions to its capital improvement plan.
And capital improvement plans, or CIPs, those are the long-term roadmap for infrastructure. We're talking school repairs, boiler replacements, technology upgrades, facility modernization.
It's the essential, though often overlooked, work of maintaining a functional district. This meeting really emphasized the ongoing commitment to ensuring that the physical assets of the school district are up to standard, which is critical when you're dealing with aging facilities.
And turning to student and staff recognition, we had several high notes. On December 10th, our article highlighted the honor given to Cortez, Varner, Walker, and Walt at the State School Board Conference.
Highlighting our talent at the state level ensures that the hard work of our teachers and administrators receives the recognition it deserves.
And Carson High School is clearly a hub of activity and achievement right now. We spotlighted CHS Silver Campus student Maggie Lagunas Anthony, featured in the Rotary Club Senior Spotlight on December 8th.
And these spotlights are great. They showcase the academic excellence and leadership potential emerging from our local schools.
But here is the achievement that I think truly resonates regionally. We celebrated the Carson High School music student and band director.
Oh, the Rose Parade?
Yes, who have been selected to march in the 137th Rose Parade. That is huge.
It is an enormous national honor. I mean, think about the dedication that requires not just from the individual student, but from the entire band program and the director.
Right. Selection for an event like the Rose Parade is not based on luck. It's based on years of sustained musical excellence, relentless practice, and community support for the arts program.
It puts Carson City on a national stage far beyond the typical news cycle. It shows that our commitment to high-level arts education is producing performers who can compete and shine on the biggest platforms.
And on a slightly lighter but equally effective note, we had that great anecdote we reported on December 11th.
The history teacher at CHS Silver Campus who went full aristocrat for a French Revolution lesson.
Yes. You know, we love those stories because they're just wonderful examples of pedagogical innovation. It's the difference between reading about history and truly experiencing it.
That kind of immersive, memorable teaching is what ignites lifelong curiosity in students. It confirms the commitment of our educators to bring complex subjects to life in really engaging ways.
So ending this section, let's touch on the vibrancy of the arts and entertainment buzz, much of which is centered around the Brewery Arts Center, or BAC.
On December 11th, we announced the upcoming auditions for Madagascar, a musical adventure junior.
Right. Those are happening in early January at the BAC. This is a crucial detail for community theater. showing that even in this busy holiday season, the groundwork is being laid for spring productions.
And it highlights the continual investment in youth arts programming.
We also reminded listeners of a wonderful local concert that happened just last night, December 11th, the Music with Friends concert.
Yeah, that event featured a really broad spectrum of local talent.
It wasn't just one ensemble, it was a real community showcase. You had the Carson City Symphony's youth strings ensembles, the youth chorus, and the not quite ready for Carnegie Hall players, the NQR.
The Adult Intermediate String Ensemble, I love that name.
Me too. And that kind of multi-generational performance is a perfect reflection of a robust local arts community where talent development happens across all ages and experience levels.
And looking ahead to this Sunday, we announced the return of the second annual BAC Tamale Festival. It's always a huge draw, celebrating local culinary traditions and community gatherings right in the heart of the city.
All right, let's turn our attention to the local economy and our regional connections, starting with some positive local business growth we reported this week.
It's always exciting to see established businesses successfully expanding. We reported on December 9th that Bella Vita has opened a second location,
And the choice of location is interesting. They took over the former Creekside spot on College Parkway.
which suggests a few things, right? Confidence in the current market, a belief in the ability to capture new customer traffic on the city's north side.
And a successful adaptation strategy for a post-pandemic retail environment. More options for Bella Vita fans across town is a strong indicator of market health.
We also welcomed a brand new business, the Beach and Hair Cove. We noted this is a coastal-inspired salon.
Every new business opening, especially one with a unique flavor, just adds layers to the city's character and increases specialized service availability.
On the community support side of things, we reported on December 10th that the Carson High baseball team is actively seeking sponsors for its 2026 season.
And that is critical grassroots support. High school sports require significant funding for equipment, travel, and coaching. And local business sponsorship is often the lifeblood that keeps those programs thriving.
And for a touch of local charm and a great cause, we shared the announcement that the 2026 Kathmandu calendars are now available.
Supporting Kathmandu is just a wonderful way to contribute to local animal welfare efforts while getting a charming product for your home.
Moving beyond Carson City, let's look at how developments affect our regional neighbors. The holiday season always brings regional connections to the forefront, especially with our proximity to the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest.
That's right. We reminded listeners that Christmas tree permits are still available for the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest and the Bureau of Land Management Carson City District.
This is important information for our listeners looking to participate in the tradition of cutting their own tree in the Washoe Valley and surrounding areas. It requires planning, permits, and proper knowledge of forest management regulations.
We also got the final chapters this week on a story of statewide pride that literally went national.
The journey of the Capitol Christmas tree.
Yes. Nevada's tree, affectionately dubbed the Silver Bell, arrived in Washington, D.C., and our reporting tracked the exciting conclusion.
On December 2nd, a Virginia City student was afforded the incredible honor of traveling to the Capitol to light the tree.
A tremendous regional achievement, highlighting the unique beauty of Nevada's wilderness and celebrating a student who represents our history and our future.
And finally, we noted some crucial infrastructure updates in Story County near Virginia City. The installation of traffic signals at Sydney Drive and USA Parkway in the TRI Center.
This was a joint effort by Story County and NDOT, and while it might seem mundane, installing traffic signals is a major investment in safety and flow management, especially in an area that sees heavy industrial and commuter traffic.
It really demonstrates the coordination required between counties and state agencies to manage the rapidly evolving needs of the Interstate 80 corridor and the industrial parks nearby.
With the analysis of the major headlines complete, let's transition now to the immediate focus, what the weather looks like, and the comprehensive weekend calendar so you can plan your next 3 days.
All right, this forecast is based on the outlook for 2 miles northwest of Carson City, and it's excellent news for anyone with outdoor holiday plans.
We are looking at a classic high desert December weekend, crisp air and abundant sunshine.
For today, Friday, December 12th, we are expecting clear, sunny conditions with a very comfortable high near 61 degrees Fahrenheit.
And tonight?
Tonight will be mostly clear, with the low dropping around 31 degrees. And look for calm wind throughout.
That sets us up perfectly. Moving into Saturday, December 13th, the weather holds steady, which is ideal for all the craft fairs and holiday festivities.
It is. We'll see sunny skies with a high near 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday night will also be mostly clear, with a low remaining right around 31 degrees.
And finally, Sunday, December 14th continues this spectacular run.
It does. Sunny conditions, with the temperature climbing slightly to a high near 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunday night, mostly clear, low around 34.
So no precipitation, just beautiful sunny days for getting out and supporting the community.
Absolutely. Let's jump into the full calendar of events, starting with today, Friday, December 12th.
For those looking to kickstart the day with some fitness, you can head to Yapple's Ballroom for Jazzercise at 7:30 o'clock a.m.
And they have a promotional price of $99 for 2 months right now. A great way to sweat out the holiday stress.
Later in the morning from 9 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m., you can find cafe connections at Comma Coffee.
An excellent opportunity to network, socialize, and just meet new people in a casual setting.
For the younger set, kids' shopping days are happening at Midtown Marketplace from 11 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. This is a really sweet event.
It is. It's open exclusively to kids 16 and under to shop for gifts for their loved ones, empowering them to choose gifts independently.
As the evening rolls in, you've got a couple of dining and artistic options. You can join the Carson Nugget Celebrity Wine Dinner at 6 o'clock p.m.
This is a special 3-course meal taking place in the Barrel Room and featuring celebrity guest Mel K.
And if you're looking to flex those creative muscles, the Brewery Arts Center is hosting an adult paint and sip at 6:30 o'clock p.m.
You will be painting a juggling snowman led by instructor Debbie Corona. Your ticket includes all materials and complimentary beverages.
The evening arts scene is vibrant tonight. The Wild Horse Children's Theater presents Beetlejuice Jr. at the BAC at 7 o'clock p.m.
And this runs on weekends through the 14th, so grab your tickets if you want to see this family-friendly, spooky favorite.
If you prefer dancing, head back to Yapple's Ballroom for a Latin social dance. Doors open at 7 o'clock p.m.
With rumba lessons starting at 7:15 o'clock p.m., followed by social dancing for hours.
Now for the live music lineup. A featured event tonight is Miki Ray, Island Soulfire at the Tap Shack.
The music mecca of Carson City. Her set starts at 7 o'clock p.m., blending island soul with high-energy rock and roll.
For those ready to sing, it's the second and fourth Friday, which means karaoke at Polecat Tavern starting at 7 o'clock p.m.
And if you're looking for a different groove, you can catch What the Funk live on stage at Gina's Good Life Music and Lounge starting at 7:30 o'clock p.m.
Finally, for the late-night singers, karaoke at Saltwater Tavern kicks off at 9 o'clock p.m.
All right, Saturday, December 13th is absolutely packed with holiday traditions and community gatherings.
Starting with networking. If you missed the Friday social, Cafe Connections offers a second chance to meet new people. This time it's at Schatz Bakery from 9 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m.
And a deeply meaningful event marks the morning. National Wreaths Across America Day at Lone Mountain Cemetery, starting at 10 o'clock a.m.
This is a ceremony focused on the mission to remember, honor, and teach, laying wreaths on veterans' graves.
From 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m., look for the Friends to All Senior Santa visits. This marks the 26th year of this wonderful tradition, bringing joy, cheer, and friendship to seniors in our community.
And if you still need to finish your gift shopping, the 10th annual Carson Christmas Craft Fairs runs from 10 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m.
This is a massive local shopping opportunity, featuring everything from food trucks and coffee to crafts, jewelry, and Christmas decor. Shop local, support your neighbors.
For the history and transit lovers, the Santa train is operating at the Nevada State Railroad Museum from 10 o'clock a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. You can take a ride on the historic locomotive and visit with Santa.
Also at the BAC in the morning, there is a handmade paper workshop running from 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m.
This is for kids 12 and up, teaching them how to make personalized holiday cards and gift tags, a perfect skill for personalized gift giving.
In the afternoon, head down to Battle-Born Harley-Davidson for pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus, running from 12 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m.
And yes, they welcome friends, family, and your pets for those holiday photos.
And now, the highly anticipated sponsored event highlight.
The Carson City Historical Society presents a Royal Holiday Affair, Victorian Christmas Tea for esteemed guests.
This event is truly spectacular. It runs from 1 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. at the historic Foreman Roberts House Carriage House. This is your chance to step back into the Victorian era and have tea with none other than Her Majesty Queen Victoria herself.
Guests will be served delicate sandwiches, dainty confections, and fragrant teas in fine china, along with a celebratory glass of champagne. This is a very elevated holiday experience right here in Carson City.
And as the crowning detail, the world-renowned Swedish nightingale, Jenny Lind, will perform 2 of the Queen's favorite arias. You are encouraged to attend in festive or Victorian attire.
And tickets for this esteemed experience are $50.
Transitioning into Saturday night, the holiday traditions continue. The First United Methodist Church is hosting a living nativity. The Road to Bethlehem from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Over in Virginia City, the Piper's Opera House presents Miracle on C Street from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., blending history and the holiday cheer.
And for a major local celebration tonight, make sure you check out Polecat Tavern's 2-year anniversary party.
That starts at 7 p.m., celebrating 2 years in business, and also owner Keith Allen Barnett's birthday.
The live entertainment tonight is Brother Dan Palmer, who was one of the very first musicians to play on the Polecat stage, which brings the event full circle.
They are encouraging guests to bring a potluck dish to share with everyone, making it a true community party.
Plus, you can check out their recently expanded suite, which includes 2 pool tables and a board game area, adding new amenities for their patrons.
Okay, closing out the weekend on Sunday, December 14th, we have a great mix of food and governance.
First up is the food festival we mentioned earlier, the 2nd annual BAC Tamale Festival. Make sure you stop by the Brewery Arts Center today and enjoy all the delicious offerings and community spirit. It's a fantastic culinary event.
And the Carson City Historical Society will host the 2nd iteration of their Victorian Christmas tea, the Members' Tea.
Also, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Foreman Roberts House Carriage House. This event is specifically geared toward the Society's members, as it includes their annual business meeting and the announcement of board election results.
So if you are a member, this is a necessary and delightful must-attend event to participate in the governance of the Society.
And as we look forward, remember that our commitment to providing information doesn't stop with the news. Carson Now posts job listings daily, which is a fantastic resource if you're looking for new employment or career growth in the area.
But more broadly, we encourage you to use this information to think critically about our community's future. We ran an opinion piece yesterday, for example, urging a discussion on reimagining downtown Carson City or risk losing its charm.
And it asks us a fundamental question about how we balance necessary development and growth, like the data centers and the expansion of health services, with the crucial work of preserving the unique historical and aesthetic character that makes Carson City such a wonderful place to live.
As you go out and enjoy this beautiful sunny weekend, think about the future you want to see here and how you can engage with the planning process, whether it's through Douglas County's Title 20 input or just supporting local arts.
That brings us to the end of our weekly Pulse recap. Thank you for diving into the past week's major headlines and the exciting weekend ahead with us.
For more detail on any of these stories, whether it's the specifics of the Toys for Tots hotlines, the full scope of the Carson Tahoe Health Extension, or the precise addresses and logistics for every event we mentioned, please visit us online at carsonnow.org.
That is also where you can read the full articles, browse job listings, or submit your own stories, photos, and calendar events.
We encourage you to like and share this podcast with your friends and family, and make sure you are following Carson Now on all your favorite social media platforms so you never miss a beat of what's happening here in Carson City.
From all of us here at Carson Now, have a wonderful, sunny, and engaging weekend.
We'll catch you next week.